In the middle of a quiet Colorado winter, a small roadside motel hid a secret that would silence an entire town. A man checked in one stormy night and never checked out. What happened inside room 9 of the Gray Pine Motel has haunted investigators for more than 40 years. Gray Pine Motel was the kind of place where nothing unusual ever happened. A few truckers, a handful of travelers, the same blinking neon sign. On January 12, 1982, a stranger calling himself Mark Henderson arrived just before midnight. He paid in cash, asked for the farthest room from the office, and carried one small leather suitcase. The clerk later said his hands trembled as if he had been driving for hours through the blizzard. That night, the snow grew heavier. Residents heard clanging noises near the parking lot around 2 a.m. and assumed it was only the wind. The next morning, the door to room 9 stood slightly open. Inside, the suitcase lay on the bed, the toothbrush untouched, the television humming with static. But the guest was gone. When the owner called the sheriff, deputies discovered muddy footprints that led into the room, but none leading out. Sheriff Linwood examined every corner. No blood, no broken glass, no sign of struggle. Yet the lock on the door was slid from the inside. The body was missing, the key left neatly on the table. It felt as if the man had simply dissolved into the winter air. Later, tire marks were found behind the motel, ending abruptly at a frozen creek. The tracks stopped where the ice began. Beyond that was only untouched snow and forest. 4. When police ran the name Mark Henderson, nothing came up. No license, no prior address, no trace in any database. Fingerprint analysis failed. The prints were faint, almost wiped away on purpose. Inside his suitcase were plain clothes with every label cut off, and a single photograph. A young woman beside a red barn, its edges burned. On the back were 4 faded words: "Forgive what I did." Locals began whispering theories. Some believed the man was a wanted criminal fleeing justice. Others thought he was meeting someone who never arrived. One elderly maid told the sheriff that 2 nights before she had seen headlights parked behind the motel for hours. No one ever got out. When deputies checked later, the car was gone, leaving only small flakes of red paint scattered over the snow. Weeks turned into months. The story appeared briefly in local newspapers, but soon vanished from headlines. Then, in March, when the snow began to melt, a fisherman discovered a briefcase wedged under a log in the creek behind the motel. Inside were stacks of old damp dollar bills, 10,000 in total, bound by bank straps dated 1980. On the inner lining, technicians lifted a faint thumbprint identical to the one left on the motel glass, but no trace of the man himself was ever recovered. Decades later, the Gray Pine Motel still stands abandoned along Highway 34. Locals claim that sometimes, on clear winter nights, a single room light flickers on, though the building has no electricity. Retired investigators still speak of Room 9 in hushed tones. Was Mark Henderson running from something or toward something? Did guilt drive him there, or redemption? No one can say for sure. What we know is this: whatever secret he carried that night vanished into the snow, leaving only footprints pointed in the wrong direction. Some crimes are solved in courtrooms. Others dissolve in snow. This was the Vanishing at Gray Pine Motel.